Go ahead and start up
Zoom.
Zoom, and then you can work on that once we get Zoom going.
Wait, yours is so tiny at the bottom.
And then start this one, the
This?
Firefox, yeah.
Oh,
Go to first screen, there's going to be two of them to jump up.
is it loading still? Okay.
Okay, this is not hooked up.
Mrs. Wi-Fi is up.
What Wi-Fi are you on?
First.
First verse says what? Someone read that? The first outline, 1 and 6, 1 through 6. Rev, you ready? Okay. Someone read 1 through 6.
Now after the death of Moses,
Mm-hmm.
servant of the Lord, it came to pass that the Lord spake unto Joshua the son of Nun,
Mm-hmm.
Moses' minister, saying, Moses my servant is dead.
Mm-hmm.
Now therefore arise, go over this Jordan, thou and all this people unto the land which I will give to them, even to the children of Israel. Every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon,
Mm-hmm.
that have I given unto you, as I said unto Moses.
Mm.
So the wilderness and this Lebanon, and unto the great river, the river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites, and unto the great sea where the going down of the sun shall be your coast.
Wow.
There shall not any man be able to stand before thee all the days of thy life, as I was with Moses, so I will be with thee. I will not fail thee, nor forsake thee.
Ooh, I love
Be
that.
strong and of a good courage. And for unto this people shall thou divide for an inheritance the land which I swear
I like, he said Moses was considered a servant. But that's just a low caliber word, servant. That's what we really are, servant. I mean, we love titles. And I could never understand how can you're a bishop and you only got one church. But we got them though, don't we? Because we like titles. He said that Moses is dead. He said, my servant is dead. Now therefore go over thou and all this people unto the land which I give to you, get to them, even as the children of Israel. He gave them the land already. Think about it now. We go into a land that God have already given us, that he already promised to Abraham. It's like we said earlier. We got to take it. It's like we said, that life has a struggle. Somebody made a statement and said, if life do not come with a remote control. Did that make sense? When trouble comes, you can't change the channel. I wish that was so. It don't come with remote control. And Joshua had no idea what he had to go, had to go through. But what I like about what he said was that wherever you place your feet, what land you put your feet on, I'm gonna give it to you. Man, that's some good stuff. But how do Joshua be so encouraged? You don't see where the people lift him up. All the thing he had to go on was the word of God. You think about it. That's the only thing Joshua had to go with. And he said, be of good courage. I'll be with you. Just like I was with Moses, I'm going to be with you. And Joshua took that and ran with it. Ooh, I like that. God. It said from the river of Euphrates and all the land of the Hittites and all the great seas towards going down of the sun shall be your coast. Everywhere far as you can see, that's gonna be your land. But I gotta take it. I gotta take it. It ain't gonna be easy, but I gotta take it. It said, and look at the 5th verse. It said, there shall not any man be able to stand before thee all the days of your life. Whoo! I don't care who come up against you, they're not going to win. Ain't that a good thing to feel good about God? God, that's a good thing. You know, you always got haters. You always got disagreeers. You always got folks who trying to do you wrong. God said, don't worry about it. I got your back. When God got your back, you got something going. He said, I will not fail thee nor forsake you. Same thing I did with Moses, I'm going to do it with you. Be strong and good courage unto the people shall thou be inherited. Divide for the inherit the land. In other words, it ain't over with. You got to take the land, and then you got all those 12 tribes going to have a certain amount of land to be distributed to them. Okay, I swear unto their father, I'll give them. In other words, like I said earlier, Abraham folks was promised this land, but they didn't see it. But they lived. But the ancestors, not the ancestors, but the generation after them saw the land. And not only they saw it, but they saw it encouraged. This was some good land. They had to go up against all these different kings to take the land. Then they had to kill a lot of the people that got killed. And one country made a plea bargain with them, if y'all read it, to a point where they didn't bother that group of people. But did you know when people are living a certain lifestyle, to a point where they don't think there's nothing wrong with it, and they're comfortable with it. These people, they believe in bestiality. Y'all know what bestiality is? Yeah, it reminds me of a guy that a woman had a horse farm, and the horse was acting strange, and she got a veterinarian to come out and check the horse out, and the veterinarian told the woman, your horse got gonorrhea. How do a horse get gonorrhea? So she put a camera in the stall, and had this man, he gets a bucket, and he's stroking his horse. Give this horse gonorrhea. Can you imagine a doggone stinking rabid horse? They believe in homosexuality, same sex. They believe in a lot of stuff that we know, that we turn our nose up at because it's just nasty. But when you practice that type of stuff, you get comfortable with it, it's not nasty. Those are the people they left alone. They should have destroyed them. It said, and in 11:16 says, so Joshua took all that land and the hills and south country and all the land of Goshen and the valley and the plain and the mountain of Israel and the valley are the same. He took all this land. Now, it don't show you where he went in and just went on and destroyed the land. It don't show you that. At one point, they told them to go in there, take the land, don't take nothing. Not even the prettiest woman, piece of gold, don't take nothing. They went in and they destroyed the land, but here comes a guy named Achan. Achan went in there and grabbed, he saw all this gold, he couldn't resist it. And God didn't like it. So they ended up, something had took place where the next time they went to war, they didn't win. And Joshua fell on his face and asked God what happened. God told him there's sin in the camp. And he's pointed out that Achan had something that was not his. He was told not to take it. So what they did with Achan, they got rid of Achan. Wow. But anyway, after he took all this land, the 17th verse said, from the mountain of, I don't know how to pronounce these words, Halek, that goes up to Sari until the Bagger. Come on, somebody help me with that word. B-A-A-G-A-D. Bag, Gad, something like that. In the valley of, I know Lebanon, unto the mountain of Hebron. And all the king he took and smoked them and slew them. What's the difference between smoke and slew? If I use the word smoke and you use the word slew, what that mean? What are we saying? Do anybody have an idea? Uh-huh. Yeah. If you, I know you was in Vietnam War, did y'all, when y'all killed people, what y'all do with them? Y'all just left them. He said he took and smoked them and slew them. Joshua made war a long time with all the kings. He had to go against all the different kings. And some of these kings had some warriors that was giants. And when they saw, when they spied the land out and saw those giants, they said, oh no, ain't no way that we're going to take, I think that was Achan. Ain't no way we're going to take these guys. These guys, they got giants in the land. You know, a giant can whoop 3 or 4 guys at one time. But that was a guy named in the camp, and he told Joshua, he said, we're well able to do that, based on the fact that all the things that they have done before. We're not going to let a giant stop us now. If God promised you something, there's going to always be some hindrance. Huh? There will always be some hindrance when God promised you something. Like I said earlier, there's no clean and green. That's some struggle that we have to go through. I like when you like the story of Job, and he asked the devil, said, "Where are you going?" He said, "I'm going to and fro, seeking who I may defile in the earth." And I thought about this thing, and I thought about it real hard. He told the devil, "Have you considered Job?" He said, "There's none like him in the land, in the earth." And the devil said, "I guess so." He said, "You got a hedge around him. You got protection." He said, "Move that protection, I get it." That's what the devil told God. Move the protection from Job. He said, "I get it." And God said, "Don't touch his soul. Don't touch his soul. Your soul don't belong to the devil. Your soul belongs to God." And what did the devil do? He put Job through hell. Job lost his 9 kids at the same time. Can you imagine having 9 funerals at the same time? It's hard to have funeral at one time. Let's know 9 kids fall death. Job had 1,000 heads of cattle, and all the kids lost all of those. But Job still trusts God in spite of. And then here come the devil and said, "Well, I guess I get him another way." He took his help from him. Now he got spoiled all over his face. And his wife looks at him and says, "You might well curse God and die. This is it. It's over with." And he said, "You talk like a foolish woman." He said, he talked about, though he slay me, yet will I trust him. Can you trust God when you're going through? It's easy to trust God when things are going well. I tell people all the time, when things are going well, it's easy to trust God. But can you trust God when you're catching hell? You're going to learn how to do that. It ain't something that you just learn, that you just do. You learn how to trust God when you're catching hell. Well, God turned around and blessed him tenfold, 100-fold, whatever he lost, he gave it back to him. Might have gave a new wife to him, should have. But my point is that learning how to trust God in your going through your changes. Joshua had a heck of a time trying to deal with 3 million people, and everybody wants goody-goody. Some of these folks were hard-headed. Can you imagine dealing with 3 million people? I kind of feel sorry for Joshua. Joshua had no other choice but to depend on God. He didn't have 12 disciples like Jesus had and do this and do that. But Joshua had to go through it all by himself and God. That's the best part about it, and God. And there was none, it said, and it says, and at that time came Joshua and cut off the Achan. I thought I had it last night, but I guess I don't today. Acana from the mountain, and Hebron from Derah, and Anah, and from all the mountain of Judah, and from all the mountain of Israel. Joshua destroyed them utterly with their cities. He's still fighting. Can you imagine the fighting that he had to go through just to take those cities? Nobody says, "Okay, Josh, you come in and take what you want, just leave us alone." I wonder why they had to destroy those people, like you said earlier. Like I said earlier, these people, let me use the term, they were so embedded in their lifestyle. Let me use that term. And they had false gods. And they had no intention of trying to do right by Joshua. They probably didn't even know who Joshua God was. In other words, we got this over here. If Joshua can defeat our God, then so be it. But at the same time, he's going to have to fight for it. Yeah, when you take something from some people, you got to fight for it. Yeah, and there are some sacrifices. It's just like when we go to school. We go 12 years of school, then we got to go to college and all that kind of stuff. You think that's easy? Stand up late at night doing your book work and stuff. That's not simple. Ain't nothing easy about life. That's what I think about it. Ain't nothing that easy about life. Instead of there was none of the 8 kings left in the land. These people was, if I'm not mistaken, these were the people that had giants left in the land of children of Israel, only in Gaal and Goth, and in the Astrodome there remained. In other words, there were some people that got away. Okay, they didn't kill everybody. There were some people that got away. So Joshua took the whole land according to all that the Lord said unto Moses. And Moses gave it as an inheritance unto Israel according to their division by their tribes. And the land rested from war. All 12 tribes had different parts of the land. But like I said earlier, there was people that crept in and came, and they came with their own way of living, and they creeped in. Can you imagine somebody come here that's a fast talker and learn how to get us to see just the opposite of what we've been taught? Huh? Somebody come in here and says, "Y'all don't need that Bible. I got something better than that." And you say, "Let me see it." And then we try to allow it to be taught. He told Joshua to be strong and courageous. Be strong and courageous. I wonder what it's like just to hear God's voice when you're going through something. I'm serious. What's it like just to hear? You know it wasn't the voice of a man or a woman or a child, and you know it was God. I wonder what that feels like. We got the Holy Spirit now to lead us, but some folks say they hear from God. I want to know I want to know what it's like to hear from God directly. In different ways. But I'm talking about, just like you and I talking, if God speak to me directly, and I hear his voice, I wonder what I recognize. I think you would, if you're a believer. Yeah.
I don't know about this.
It says when Joshua came down from the mountain, no, when Moses came down from the mountain, his son, it says face shined like a sun. But when Joshua came down from the mountain, his face shined like the moon. They knew something had taken change. They knew something took change. They knew it because it was a resemblance was in their face. Okay? And they knew Moses had talked to God, and they knew Joshua had talked to God. But I can't understand is that if they knew all of this, why they just couldn't say, when Joshua said, look, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, why they couldn't follow him? They knew for a fact, based on the face, by him shining like the moon, they knew he had some type of relationship with God at that time. They knew that. But it's easy for us to get off track. Don't fool yourself in that area. It's very easy to get off track. We have a tendency to think that we like shortcuts. Talk to me, somebody. We like shortcuts. And when you're driving, you like shortcuts, don't you? Yeah, because when I'm driving, I want to know what's the quickest way to get there. Why am I in such a hurry? You ain't out here being late. But we think it's okay to take shortcuts. In certain areas, it is okay to take shortcuts. But I want to take a shortcut every time I go someplace. I don't know why I'm like that.
You just got used to doing it, and most of the time when you get used to doing stuff, you want to keep it up.
That's what Joshua faced with these other people and their lifestyle. When you get comfortable doing something, I don't care how wrong it is, if it makes you comfortable, you'll keep it up. Ho ho. Okay, the lesson was kind of short, and I wasn't really ready for this lesson because it was too much history involved. I was hoping Reverend would come back and give us a lot of history that took place. But we're not dealing with Moses now. We're dealing with Joshua after Moses. And we're talking about what Joshua had to go through to get the people where God told them that he wanted them to go. He wanted them to take that land. But they had to do all this fighting. 5 different kings they had to go up against just to take the land. And then once they took the land, you had to divide the land. And once they divide the land, they had to fight to keep the land. What's so easy about life? Tell me about it. Huh? Nothing easy about life. Soon you think you got it made, you'll find out. There's always something in our way that keeping us from seeing what we need to see or being what we need to be. There's always a hindrance in our life. It's going to be that way until such time Christ comes back. Such time, till Christ comes back. Our ancestors faced it, we face it, and our children are going to face it. Okay? But God told us to be strong and be courageous. He told them, I'll be with you. I like that when he says, not one man can be able to, if he come against you, he will fail. I like that. Why? Because Joshua trusts God. You can't trust God and fail. That's a fact. You can't trust God and fail. You will always be successful. But you got to trust God the way he said trust him. There's no such thing as look. And if I just hit the lottery, I'll be all right. Hello. So, I hear people talk about if they can just get to Vegas, well, I come home with a pocket full of money.
No, on your life.
trusting God is something that we gonna have to learn how to do, and it's not gonna be sweet. But His Word is the only thing we got to go by. Is His Word. It's 10 o'clock, and I did the best I could with that.